Welcome back to Hilaal Live. And now there has been a spike in criminal activities in Cape Town. And over this past weekend, there were allegedly three more mugging incidents the day after three marathon runners were mugged during the RMB Ultra Trail race. Now, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis said on his X account that law enforcement officers and Sandpark Rangers were working together to keep the mountain safe. Now, this comes as the holiday season in the mother city will take into effect, and one such organization looking to make sure criminal activities is curbed or even erased is Take Back Our Mountains. And I'd like to welcome Taahir Osman from that organization. Taahir, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and shukran so much for joining us.
Walaikum salam.
Um, Taahir, I mean, it is a concerning issue, isn't this? Because we know the sanctity of Table Mountain and we know exactly what a big tourist attraction it is, especially now during the festive season.
Yes, it's quite a big attraction. Everyone is coming in and from all over the world. I even met with the German consulate also about safety and security on the mountain. They're all concerned because earlier in this year there was a lot of German tourists that were also mugged on Signal Hill, Lions Head area. So we are thankful for the city for stepping in and assisting Table Mountain National Park with the crime that is happening there. But it just this year alone, since March, it's been quite out of hand.
Tairi, you speak about obviously, the different stakeholders. I mean, working with the city of Cape Town, working, of course, with Sandparks. I mean, and of course, we have your organization, Take Back Our Mountains. And it's important that all of these organizations come together, isn't it, to make sure that there is safety for those who want to visit those parts of the mother city.
Yeah, so I think that is what we are failing at as stakeholders and authorities of working together. That is one of the biggest challenge that we need to find a common ground and everyone to work together because the park is just too big. Table Mountain National Park is about 271 square kilometers, and it's just impossible for us to be all over the show. That's if you put SAPS, law enforcement, Metro, and all the other agencies, including us as stakeholders, trail users, running clubs, mountain climbing, everyone together, it's still impossible to cover all the areas. As you can see, even the UTCT race, we covered all areas. Stewart, the guys, they put in extra effort. They met with so many other stakeholders to assist and keep the area safe. And yet, still, there was an unforeseen incident that happened.
Tair, you mentioned 271 square kilometers, which is, of course, the entire national park. Now, I know it's difficult for there to be rangers everywhere and anywhere because each part of them is quite important for the national parks. But how do the stakeholders, including yourself, sit down and say, okay, we need to specifically be in one area, or does there have to be a disbursement of various security agencies in order to make sure that they are everywhere? Is that possible, especially during the upcoming holiday season?
Well, I think what is needed is a better relationship with stakeholders from national parks. First of all, the same thing that city is currently doing. The city endorses neighborhood watches. So if you look at it, that Table Mountain National Park specifically, they don't have neighborhood watches as public engagement of the help of public, because that is what the city is doing. They get into the public sectors and they speak to the people and they uplift them with creating neighborhood watches, and also with the non-profit organizations or non-government organizations, they uplift them to assist with helping in combating the issue that we have, because everybody wants to see Table Mountain. It's one of the seven wonders of the world, including Cape Point, Hout Bay. There's many tourist attractions, the Boulders Penguin. So it's crucial for the Table Mountain National Park to build better relationships with the public. So they should have a forum just dealing with safety and security and proper public engagement that could help. Like the city is also putting up cameras all over. Now, currently, with the reason why the northern sector is badly affected with the crime is because the city has improved with non-profit groups. They uplifted the groups to do visible patrols and to inform the policing with any other activities happening in the area. And they put up their surveillance and it runs from a control room and everything works fine. And it's not solving the problem, but it's part of crime prevention. So Table Mountain, being at the seven wonders of the world, they seriously need to come up with a good plan and involve all stakeholders on the ground to join in, whether it's the hiking clubs, running, mountain biking, everyone, because we are currently also running a chat group with over 500 participants, and it's mainly people from hiking or running or climbing organizations, and they feed us with valuable information with what is happening on the ground. Even a simple thing as a pathway washed away, a
Mm,
tree collapsed over pathway, there's a fire, there's a vagrant,
mm.
because the park can't see what's happening, or the rangers can't see what's happening on the ground all the time. So we thank everyone that takes part in our Table Mountain Security Alert Group, because it allows us to know what exactly is happening on a daily basis throughout the whole park.
Taahir, part of course, your organization's work is to maintain the sanctity of the flora and fauna of the Table Mountain National Park. Um, the fire season is, of course, going to be kicking in. And I remember back when I went for my last proper holiday to Cape Town, that was 2015. I remember quite a bad fire that occurred just at the start of 2016. What is being done to sort of make sure this doesn't happen? I know sometimes it's beyond the control of your organization and others, but what is being done in order to make sure that we do not have fires at such a high level within Table Mountain?
Well, we've noticed over the past few months that there are groups that are going out on a monthly basis or weekly basis. They are doing hacking, taking out pine and all those trees that are hazardous and the trees that are fallen over. Like, for example, in Newlands Forest as well, we have a major issue there with bark stripping. So our indigenous trees are being stripped, ring barked, and they fall over because they die. So there is a lot of hacking going on. The groups are out there doing clearing, and a lot of alien clearing is happening. Um, but the biggest problem is as well, we get heading into a fire season, which is also windy season now, and the vagrants is something that they cannot control. They will do an operation, go out, take out all these vagrants from the mountain. If you go 2 3 days back into the mountain, they're back again. So that is one of the biggest challenges, and I think because of the amount of vagrants that we have on the mountain, and I see an increase of it now because the city has also, there were times that they removed all the homeless from the castle and all those places. So now the guys are running up on the mountain and looking for shelter over there.
Tarwan, final question. There's going to be a lot of holiday makers coming through to the mother city, and as I mentioned, Table Mountain is top of the priority for many of the visitors. Um, on a level of 1 to 10, come of course the start of the holiday season, is there a guarantee of safety for those who want to do many activities within Table Mountain? And
Well,
can that safety be guaranteed?
yeah, so there is a big increase on boots on ground from all authorities and SAPs, law enforcement, and SAM parks. But what I suggest that the followers do, they should follow the hiking
Mm,
platforms and trail running platforms like ourselves, Take Back Our Mountains. Follow the Facebook, Instagram handle. We have a website as well, www.takebackourmountains.co.za. We update regularly with what is happening on the mountain. So basically, it's a simple: don't hike alone or don't display your valuables. Always go in a group. So if you're going with a group, or use a tour guide that knows the area well, that can guide you. Because you see, many of these people, they think it's easy just to freely walk the
mm.
park. There are certain areas in the park that you cannot walk. Even the residents that are living in Cape Town cannot go into certain parts of the national park because of the high crime rate. And that is where these guys fall victim to a mugging. So, for example, the sunset period on Signal Hill is perfect, but they just need to watch for pickpockets. Lions Head, they need to use the Jeep track. Stay between the peak hours, which is from like, let's say 7 o'clock the morning till about 9. And then the evening again from 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock. The same with Platteklip Gorge, the same thing that is normally we call it the tourist highway. Everyone goes up there. Or other, the cable car, which will be safe. But like areas like Houtblay and deep in the south, where it's Glenplass Dam, Ocean View, and those places, they cannot wander on their own into that places. They need to go with the locals, join local hiking clubs or running clubs or climbing clubs. Move with these guys. They will know how to go into the park at what times and in a safe group.
Taahir, shukran so much for joining us here on Hilaal Live.
Afwan,
Much appreciated.
Afwan, salam.
Walaikum salam. That's Taahir Osman from Take Back Our Mountains. After the break, I'll have your latest in news. Do stay tuned.